So if the Covid-19 vaccine was developed in just 3 hours, why after 6 months of long and ominous pause, we still don't have a vaccine? That hurts, the pause. And what is it taking so long for a vaccine to hit the market? And for that matter, how long? Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Theory Show. In this episode, you will be knowing how a Covid-19 vaccine was developed in just 3 hours and why still we don't have a ready vaccine shot. Just in case if you have not noticed, this is gonna be a long video telling you about very important things like what it really takes to develop and market the vaccine, at what stage the Covid-19 vaccine is now, what are the limitations, and a brief idea about how the vaccine works. And I promise you, this is not a clickbait. So without further waiting, let's dig in. So what it takes to develop and prepare a vaccine, the most important recipe is the genetical sequence of the virus, which is just combination of nucleotides, which is A, C's, G's and T's. But did I just not say the vaccine was developed in just 3 hours? So you don't have to trust me on that. The vaccine was certainly developed in just 3 hours. Let's just watch this together.
From the genetic sequences to a model for the vaccine, you went through this in what, 3 hours?
So yeah, all we need is that genetic code. So it's just a series of A's and T's and C's and G's that make up the blueprint to the virus.
So once we have the genetical sequence or the genetical map of the virus in place, the map is fed to the computer and the algorithm develops an anticode, which is another genetical map to just lock the virus to prevent it from infecting the body. Well, developing a vaccine in 3 hours is very modern technology and uses mRNA, which is the messenger RNA, to map and devise a vaccine, unlike a traditional method where a part of the virus or the whole weakened virus is used to trigger the immune system and produce antibody to fight the real attacking virus. Well, in that case, we are talking about a time period of months to years to develop an antibody at the first place. And vaccine is a distant goal. So how does a vaccine work and how is it prepared? Well, that's a whole different process of explanation, but you have to understand the process in order to understand the limitations and to know how long will it take. Long story short, bear with me and let me give you a very brief idea. Our body immune system has a good memory about what all have attacked our system and caused the disease because of the antibodies produced. The antibodies are particular in case of fighting a pathogen. Just like there is a specific key for a specific lock, there is a specific antibody for a specific pathogen. A pathogen can be anything, a virus, bacteria, protozoa or anything. So if a pathogen has attacked our system earlier, the immune system has a soldiers to fight it back. But what if the pathogen is completely new and our body has never encountered it and cannot fight it back? And while the immune system is busy preparing antibodies, the pathogen takes control of the entire system and everything is doomed. Well, in that case, the vaccine plays a critical role. So we know how important a vaccine is. So how long before we have a vaccine other than from Patanjali and the 15th August promise and fingers crossed for Russia? US President Trump announced an ambitious program to have a working vaccine by the end of 2020.
Today I want to update you on the next stage of this momentous medical initiative. It's called Operation Warp Speed.
While this timeline is not impossible, experts believe the vaccine won't be available this soon because there are trillions of things which can go wrong. And the quickest a vaccine has ever hit the market is 4 years. So what are the limitations? What's causing the delay if we have these many vaccines already? Since a vaccine can be prepared in 3 hours, what is it keeping it away from the market? Even if the Operation Warp Speed and various other programs by many government has fast forwarded every single step in developing a vaccine, what still stops the vaccine to hit the market is the mandatory phase a vaccine has to go through to ensure a vaccine is 100% safe. So there are certain phases a vaccine has to go through. Number 1, the academic research, which though takes months and years and conclude no concrete result, here we have had an head start due to previous developing SARS-CoV vaccine and new technologies. Second is preclinical trial. Here the vaccines are tested on cells, animals and the observations are made on how they trigger the immune system. Even this step was fast forwarded in this case. Next is 3-phased clinical trial. Phase 1, where the vaccine is just tested for the safety on very few individuals. In phase 2, the number of volunteers are increased, but none of the candidate nor the administrator of the vaccine knows if the candidate is getting a vaccine or a placebo. This is called double-blind experiment. Then comes the phase 3. This is the most critical phase in a vaccine trial. The number of volunteers are way high. They are segregated on the basis of demography, geography, sex, health condition, and etc. After this trial has ended, everest of data is gathered, which is a major and most prominent limitation of the phase. This is where the most of the vaccine fail and are terminated. Analyzing the data and concluding what kind of action the vaccine had on human body takes months and for that matter years, and there is no fast track method to this. That had to be studied for what did it cause? What was the secondary effect? What shall be the dose? Which age group is most vulnerable? How long will the vaccine protect? And then comes the final stage of approval, which in this case is done parallelly to ensure there is no delay in the approval of the vaccine. Only after that a vaccine is ready to be marketed, and a vaccine can be disapproved at any stage based on the conclusion driven from the studied. So it's a long shot, but there is always a hope. Well, there is a positive side as well. By now, there are 135 plus vaccine candidates in preclinical trial. 19 of them are in phase 1, 11 of them are in phase 2, and 8 of them are in phase 3. And you will be surprised to know, out of all, 2 approved vaccines are there. But they are only there for the limited use. So there is the resume button inside. It's just a matter of time before we tap it. So that's all for today's episode. Hope you learned something new. I bring you one informative episode every time you see me, and it's your support which keeps me going. So if you like the content and like to consume such content, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe and stay tuned. So hope to see you in the next episode. Till then, stay safe, take care, goodbye.